Suffering is the biggest problem in the world, by definition, really. There are some worldviews out there that are completely directed at eliminating suffering. Buddhism, for instance, has as its goal the annihilation of one's consciousness, permanent personal obliteration, in order to just stop the pain we experience. The belief is that the suffering of life will always outweigh the joy and the love of life, that there is no goodness that can overcome pain. But I think that there is such a goodness, but that suffering is necessary or even helpful for now. What's the truth about suffering? We might not ask ourselves that question in that form, but we often ask the question in some form, like, why is this happening to me? Or why does God allow this to happen? Well, here's one thing Scripture says. Our suffering is not God punishing us. I mean, we've made a mess of things. We sin a lot. But God's response to sin in this life is not to punish it, but to show grace in the face of it. Sin can hurt us because it causes damage. Our violence hurts people, but this isn't God punishing us. But God obviously allows suffering in the world, and if God allows it, there must be some purpose in it. I think life is hard, often horrible, because that's the necessary condition for us to learn to trust God. The oldest stories of humankind tell us that life used to be easier, like in the legends of the Garden of Eden. Things were idyllic there. There was no suffering. But we nonetheless rebelled against God because we suspected He might not have our best interest in mind. We had an idyllic life, but our distrust of God brought great suffering into the world. So now, at the cost of allowing great suffering, God is trying to lead us to trust Him so that He can restore us to paradise without us ruining it. Suffering constantly challenges our trust in God. The fact that life is often so hard, so disappointing, means that we have to grapple with God's trustworthiness. But that's just necessary for our growth, for our life, I think. That's an essential truth about suffering, but here's the necessary truth when it comes to suffering. It's this: God is capable of making anything right. Any loss, any grief, any disaster, God can bring a solution, a recompense, a consolation to everyone involved in it. He can bring healing. He can give people an eternal afterlife in joy. The solution might not come until the next life, but it's out there. And when we go through serious suffering or loss, it calls this into question. Do we trust that God can make anything right in the end? To me, that's often the biggest question there is, and the weight of suffering compels me to deal with it. Believers sometimes make the mistake of thinking that God's job is to make our earthly suffering easier. That's not right. Like in the book of Hebrews, it says that during the days of Jesus' life on earth, He offered up prayers and petitions with fervent cries and tears to the one who could save Him from death, to the one who had eternal solutions. It says, even though He was the Son, He too learned obedience. He learned trust from what He suffered. And once that was complete, He became the source of eternal restoration for all who trust in Him. In large part, Jesus came to suffer. And we walk the same path, hopefully with the same trust, which I think is the whole point.